Family, come a little closer for this one. I really want your full attention for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to break down is something almost nobody in the crypto world is even thinking about. Everyone's fighting over charts, arguing about market caps, recycling the same predictions over and over. And meanwhile, quietly in the background, a massive global shift is forming. A shift big enough to reshape how liquidity moves across the entire world. And surprisingly, it starts in a place most people barely pay attention to: Japan. Now, let me set the scene. For decades, and I mean literally decades, Japan lived under near zero interest rates. Money was basically free. And guess what? The entire global financial system built itself around that fact. Investors borrowed cheap yen, flipped it into dollars, and pushed it into US stocks, global bonds, tech growth, and yes, even crypto. That cheap liquidity acted like a constant fuel pump for markets. But now the engine is stalling. Japan's interest rates are rising way faster than anyone expected. Yields are climbing. And the very mechanism that fed global markets for years, the yen carry trade, is beginning to unwind. And trust me, when that thing reverses, it doesn't tiptoe, it snaps. And everything connected to global liquidity starts shaking. By the way, if you enjoy content that actually explains the real forces shaping crypto, not hype, not panic, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Alright, let's dig deeper. Here's what people don't understand. When money was basically free in Japan, institutions did something extremely logical. They borrowed yen at almost 0%, converted it to dollars, and invested anywhere they could earn higher returns. US equities, global bonds, risk assets, Bitcoin, all of it soaked up that liquidity. But when Japanese yields rise, suddenly it becomes more profitable and safer to bring that money back home. So instead of capital flowing into global markets, it starts flowing out. That reversal is called the reverse carry trade, and historically, it's one of the fastest, sharpest shocks to the financial system. And here's the key part nobody talks about. When institutions unwind these positions, they don't sell what they don't like. They sell what they can sell. The most liquid assets: Bitcoin, big tech stocks, large cap positions. So yes, crypto gets affected, not because investors are emotional, but because big money is repositioning based on pure mathematical necessity. Now, where does XRP come into this? This is where things get interesting. When liquidity tightens like this, the entire financial system becomes hypersensitive. Delays become expensive. Currency conversions become risky. Settlement bottlenecks become dangerous. And in that environment, tools that can move money faster, cheaper, and more efficiently suddenly become incredibly valuable. Not meme coins, not hype tokens, actual utility assets. Japan is one of the largest foreign exchange hubs on the planet. Cross-border money moves constantly, and unlike other countries, Japan has extremely deep ties to Ripple and XRP through SBI and multiple years of testing real settlement infrastructure. So picture this scenario for a second. Liquidity dries up, FX volatility spikes, settlement fees shoot up, banks are struggling to move money quickly enough. In that kind of situation, XRP stops being a crypto project and starts being a problem-solving tool. This is what it was engineered for: instant settlement, low-cost transfers, reducing FX friction, and bridging liquidity efficiently. Now here's the part nobody ever thinks about, and this is really important. When an asset is used for settlement, its value isn't dictated by hype. Its value is dictated by the amount of money it needs to carry. If a payment corridor needs to move $200 million a day, and XRP is worth $1, you need 200 million tokens locked up. But if XRP is worth $50, that same corridor only needs 4 million tokens. Higher price equals higher liquidity efficiency. That's why settlement assets naturally reprice upward as their usage grows. There's no influencer pumping it, no hype cycle. It's just math meeting utility. Japan stepping into this world, especially during a liquidity crunch, amplifies the effect massively. Banks don't adopt efficiency tools slowly when the system is under stress. They adopt them urgently. And once institutions start using something like XRP, they don't buy it and sell it. They buy it and use it. Tokens get locked into corridors. Supply tightens. Liquidity requirements rise. And because XRP has a fixed supply, the only way to handle growing throughput is through revaluation. This isn't a pump. It isn't fantasy. It's structural. What we're witnessing right now, Japan raising rates, the carry trade unwinding, liquidity tightening around the world, this is the exact environment where utility assets stop being optional and start becoming necessary. And XRP is sitting right at the intersection of those needs, a relief valve for a stressed financial system, a settlement tool that gets more valuable as global friction increases. And whether institutions adopt it lightly, moderately, or at full scale, the chain reaction is always the same. Utility increases demand, demand increases liquidity requirements, and liquidity requirements eventually force revaluation. This isn't financial advice. This is simply macro logic unfolding in real time.